So Dino, a lot of things have changed since January, the beginning of the season. A lot of things changed for the good.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a lot of things changed from the last time I interviewed you at, was that San Diego, when you're on the rower?
Yeah, that was Arizona. Yeah.
Okay.
No, a lot's changed, definitely for the good. Yeah, so me and my dad just did the first 4, and we had some great people helping us. And yeah, it was good, but it was a little bit. It was a little bit tough for sure, you know. But it was fine because the races were close to the house here in California. So the West Coast rounds weren't too bad, but going East Coast is where it was going to get really difficult. So yeah, we got really lucky, I guess, and yeah, we got picked up by Rockstar Husqvarna, so I was really happy, and yeah, it's good.
When did you get the call, and who called?
So it was on the Tuesday before the race this past weekend at Oakland. So it was on Tuesday, and I was at the track, and Bobby Hewitt called me, and I was about to unload my bike, and then he says, he asked me if I wanted to ride for his team, and I was like, yeah, definitely. He said, can you ride tomorrow? I was like, I'll ride today. I was so happy and stoked. It was like just such a good feeling, like in a sigh of relief, kind of. So it was awesome. I've worked really hard this off season, and we just done the best with what we had, and it worked out. So it was really good, and I rode that week, Wednesday, Thursday, flew to the race, gnarliest track of the year. Survived it with a 10th, but I feel good this week. We've had some good bike time, and excited for Dallas.
Yeah, gnarliest track of the year, best finish of the year. Had to go through every race, including the LCQ.
Yeah, it was a long day. It was like it was the day race, but it felt like, I don't know. It felt really. It was weird because when the race ended, which it ended at like 7 something, it felt like 11 though. It just because the day is so long. But yeah, unfortunately fell first lap in the heat race. Had that weird crash in the semi where the bike and me never crashed, but we came disconnected. I landed on my feet, my bike landed on its wheels, and then won the LCQ, and then in the main, yeah, got 10th. So it was fine, recovered well from it, but yeah, I think I'm getting better every weekend for sure.
Was it an easy transition getting on the Husqvarna because it is the sister company of KTM, what you were on last?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Just the Japanese bike and an Austrian bike is like a lot different feel-wise. So it took a little bit just to kind of get the feel and used to it. But I think, you know, like they just had all my settings from when I was on KTM. The engine and suspension feel pretty similar. But I think the overall feel of the bike feels just a hair different, the KTM and the Husky. So, yeah, but it was a pretty smooth, good transition.
So like within 3 days you're racing it, how comfortable were you this weekend? 80%, 90%?
I would say 80%. I never got to do any long motos on it, just more testing and stuff like that. So I qualified really good though. It was crazy. Like we had no free practice, and I'm like, oh, that sucks, because obviously a little bit more bike time would have been good. Went out there for the first time qualifier, and I was 5th, and I was on the board again. I was like, yes, like that was pretty good feeling, you know, to be back on the board. Second practice on the board the whole way, and then I got knocked off to 6th the last like 20 seconds. So 6th fastest qualifier. I was like pretty happy with that, you know. It was good. That was a good positive way to start the day. And then yeah, just kind of put myself in bad situations throughout the night, but yeah, it was like a survival night, you know. I kind of, the last few laps, I just backed her off and just said, let's finish this, let's coast her in, because it was like the conditions could just in an instant throw you one way or throw you the other. So yeah, I just wanted to see the checkered flag.
Nice. Now that you have ridden as a privateer on a bike you built with your dad, how much of an advantage is a factory bike really?
For me, I think it's a huge advantage. And I also want to give a shout out to all the privateers for a start, because obviously I've been that route and I maybe had a little bit more help than a lot of the privateers, but it's kind of a shame, because a privateer, when they practice, they got to go to the public tracks and pay $65, and that's a lot of money out of a privateer's pocket. You know what I mean? So for a factory guy, like, you really get the royal treatment, and I've really learned this, and I appreciate it so much more, because I have like 3 tracks now I can ride. I can ride the Husqvarna track, the KTM track, and the Troy Lee track. You know, whenever. So just that alone is a huge help, you know, and that takes a lot. You know, it's a shame, because the privateers obviously are the struggling ones, and it's coming out of their pocket just to practice during the week. So yeah, it was a good learning experience for me, though. You know, I just had to kind of dig deep and, like, you know, accept it for what it was. You know, I didn't really whine about it, because I knew just clear and simple that my results had to be better, obviously, but more importantly, I need to be healthy, because last year I'm coming back from my ACL, and I knew I was trying to get a ride with a team, but I kind of rushed back from my second ACL, and this was like a really hard one to come back from. And so yeah, I came probably back a little bit too early, took a few races to get going, and I never really did amazing, but yeah, I just pretty much bet on myself, and here we are on Rockstar's Husqvarna, so it was good.
It all worked out then.
All worked out, yeah. It's a good feeling for sure, but it was like I said, it was a good learning experience for me, because like we went to Phoenix, and then like straight after the race, I was like, I'm getting home. So we bailed after the race. I drove the full 6 hours after the race, you know, so halfway I was like bogging out hard. And then I must have got a cup of coffee, and, you know, at Blythe, pinned it back and made it. And yeah, it was like it was good for me.
Yeah.
It gives me a lot of appreciation to what I have now. Like, I think it would help a lot of riders for sure.
Yeah. All right, so putting the program together that you did, you had some new people helping you out, then some people that have always been behind you. Were all your existing sponsors pretty thrilled for you?
Yeah, everyone was really pumped for me, which was cool, and so many fans were like so stoked for me. It was like pretty cool, because like I've always gotten I had a lot of support from the fans and everything, but obviously you always kind of get a lot of negative people, aka haters, you know, trolling you in that when you're on a factory team. But yeah, it was weird. It's like, I'm sure, like, obviously there's always some people that aren't gonna like you no matter what. Like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, it's just life. But I had so many positive comments. It was like pretty cool to see, you know. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm on a factory team, I'm sure maybe some of those hardcore privateer fans, you know, will go somewhere else. But the support has been awesome. It's been really good, and yeah, it's been appreciated.
Nice. We were joking about this earlier, but we're not. Your new contract, you have to leave behind the Toyota of Escondido team, so we're not teammates anymore.
Yeah, I know. It was a shame. I mean, Damien at Toyota of Escondido, I've been with them since my rookie year, since 2010, so 7 years. So it's been a long ride, and was kind of a bummer to not be able to be with them anymore. But obviously, this opportunity is an opportunity that there's no way I'd be passing up. So yeah, it's what it is. But definitely a big thank you to Damien and everyone at Toyota of Escondido for the support over the years. It's been appreciated, because they've been behind my back through all the injuries, which was cool.
Mm-hmm. And even as a privateer.
You're
a privateer guy that had a free truck.
That was it. I know. I was lucky for sure.
And then I guess, were you driving a Sprinter or something?
Yep. I got I have a Sprinter here that we've had since like 07. But I didn't trust it going to Arizona, because like my dad always drives it to the track, and like the thing breaks down all the time. So I I asked Damien if I could use his Sprinter to Phoenix, and we're going to use it for Oakland, but we got the ride, so it was all good.
Nice. What what opened up the deal for you at Husqvarna? Was it? I know Purcell's Canada. Was it? Are you replacing him on the team?
I don't know how it really is working. You know, I mean, I think if like what's up with Purcell is none of my business. You know, like I've just been trying to do my job as a racer and do the best I can to be on a team. And this opportunity came along, and it was really exciting. So, you know, the way I look at it, though, if he was running up front, then he'd probably still be there, or whatever the case is. But yeah, he's going to Canada now, so I wish him the best.
What do you have for goals for the rest of the season now that you're completing the whole series, not just one?
Yep, I think for goals, I just think top 10 for now. I mean, I know it's people are like, oh, you're on a factory team, you should be doing better than that. But if I was to do a graft of my past few years, they'd be like, and then they'd be down. So I would rather have a graft where it's like this, and then once we're starting feeling good, you know, midway, hopefully, or wherever, we start doing better and the graph goes, the results get better. You know, that's the way I look at it. It's just all building for me. You know, everyone knows my story, so I don't need to explain that, but being healthy and in top 10 is good, and that's what the team wants. And that's fine for now.
Are you racing well within your limits because you want to build and you don't want to get hurt? I mean, like, could you hang it out and go a second a lap faster, 2 seconds a lap faster if you wanted to, but that'd be running a risk?
I would say so. I would say I'm just a little bit smarter. I'm not, at this moment, I'm not willing to risk something crazy, you know. I'm just kind of a little bit steady Eddie, like trying to just click off my laps and be consistent and focus more on my corners, and instead of just being erratic, you know. Yeah. So that's just what I'm doing right now. But I would say that I'm not on the edge or anything right now. You know, I'm just trying to get through the first half of the season for sure. Or obviously I want to do the full season, but
yeah. And this deal includes outdoors?
Yeah, that was the thing that was so cool, you know, like, it's pretty funny. Well, it wasn't funny at all that Kenny got hurt. That sucked, and it sucks for the sport too, because I think having him in the sport's good, it keeps it exciting. But when that Honda was, it's not even available, but obviously everyone was like, wanting me to be on the Honda team and whatever, and you know, if that would have happened, that would have been like a Supercross only deal, or motocross only. Who knew what would have happened? But with this, with the Rockstar Husqvarna, to get the full season was like, it was just the biggest blessing. It was like, like I said, it just all came together, and it was a great day. It was awesome. It's like the appreciation for it is so much more than anything I've ever had. It's like revived me almost.
Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen to your 2-trick Yamahas now?
Well, actually, Dad took one back and they gave me a bike. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this Yamaha yet. I have a couple ideas, but...
He said it was going to be his bike from now on.
Well, he wants to ride it for a little bit, so maybe he'll ride it for a little bit, but I have a couple ideas with it that we'll maybe see here in the future.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like a contest?
Maybe. For a good cause.
Good cause.
But I don't want to say anything yet because I don't know exactly what I'm doing.
Nice. Well, we're stoked to see you earn a ride back, and it was tough seeing you struggle, and it's definitely what we wanted to see. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks everyone that supporting me and yeah, cheering me on. I appreciate it.
Now, I'll ask you a second time. You can tell the truth. Have you ever requested nudes?
Hey, what did I say the first time?
Nudes are rude.
Nudes are rude.